Good evening, everyone. Namaskar to all of you. On behalf of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, New Delhi, and the Committee for Public Service Committee, ICI, I, C.A. Yash Gupta, takes this honor to welcome all of you. A huge round of all of you for coming here. This is the first of its kind program organized by MPSC Committee under the able leadership of C.A. Rohit Ruhatia ji and C.A. Babu Abraham sir, those who, for inspiring the young minds to pursue their career in IPS and IAS. To formally start the program, now I request C.A. Kamal Jain, Secretary Jaipur Branch, C.A. Kamal Jain, Vice Chairman of the Jaipur Branch, C.A. Raja Mordas Sharma, Chairman of the Jaipur Branch, C.A. Satish Kumar Gupta sir, our Central Council Member, C.A. Rohit Ruhatia Agarwal ji, Chairman of the MPSC Committee and Central Council Member, C.A. Prasun Kabra, IRS, Commissioner of Income Tax Appeal, C.A. Shivani Maheshwari, ICOS Joint Director, and C.A. Gaurav Gupta, Assistant Manager SEBI, to kindly come up and lighting the lamp. Let's take the blessings of Ma Saraswati before formally start the proceedings. Now I request all the dignitaries to kindly come up on the dais. I request our program directors and Central Council member to kindly escort our guests to the dais. Please welcome C.A. Prasun Kabra, IRS, Commissioner of Income Tax Appeals, C.A. Shivani Maheshwari, ICOS Joint Director, C.A. Gaurav Gupta, Assistant Manager SEBI, and our Central Council members, C.A. Rohit Ruhatia ji, C.A. Satish Gupta sir, and branch committee members. I request all of you to kindly raise for the ICI motto song.
Yaesha sukteshu jagrati Yaesha sukteshu jagrati Kamam 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 Pursho nirvimanaha Tadeva shukram Tada Brahma Tadeva mritamujjate Tasmin lokaha shataha Sarve taduna tyadi kaschan Etadvaita
I also request C.A. Shivani Maheshwari ma'am, ICOS Joint Director ma'am, kindly come up on the dais. Huge round of applause for ma'am. हर सीए के अंदर एक एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर छुपा होता है, नंबर समझने वाला दिमाग और देश समझने वाली सोच. बस एक विजन बनाने की जरूरत है और जरूरत है हमारे पोटेंशियल को एक अवसर बनाने की, तो वो हम सब में कूट कूट के भरी है. विद दिस, टू वेलकम आवर गेस्ट सीए प्रसून काबरा, IRS कमिश्नर ऑफ इनकम टैक्स अपील्स, आई रिक्वेस्ट सीए विजय अग्रवाल जी, रीजनल काउंसिल मेंबर ऑफ CIRC, टू काइंडली कम अप. आपकी तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट होती रहनी चाहिए. स्पीकर्स ने हमारे लिए बहुत समय निकाल के, दे हैव ट्रेवल्ड ऑल अक्रॉस द इंडिया टू टेल अस अबाउट देयर सक्सेस एंड देयर हार्ड वर्क. Requesting program director to kindly present a memento to Prasun Kabra sir. Thank you so much, CA Prasun Kabra sir, for coming to Jaipur, Pink City. To felicitate CA Shivani Maheshwari ma'am, ICOS Joint Director, I request CA Ruchi Gupta ma'am, Regional Council Member of CIRC, to kindly come up on the stage. We welcome you ma'am in the Pink City. Requesting chairman and vice chairman to kindly present the shawl to ma'am. Requesting program directors to kindly present a memento to ma'am. आपकी तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट होती रहनी चाहिए. Huge round of applause for everyone. Thank you once again. To felicitate CA Gaurav Gupta, Assistant Manager CB, now I request CA Kuldeep Sharma, Managing Committee Member of the Jaipur branch, to kindly come up on the stage. Requesting Secretary Jaipur branch to kindly present a memento to Gaurav Gupta ji. We have another eminent speaker, CA Gaurav Sharma, who is IPS and IG of Police West Bengal. He is connected virtually to us. He is occupied with some work, but he made sure that he is connected online to motivate all of us. So, sir, CA Gaurav Sharma, sir, we welcome on behalf of Institute of Chartered of India to you. Sir, आपका स्वागत है बहुत-बहुत कि आपने हमें अपना कीमती समय निकाला, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request CA Raja Mohandas Sharma, Chairman of the Jaipur branch, for his welcome address.
Good evening, everyone. Respected CA Satish Kumar Gupta ji, Central Council Member, CA Rohit Ruatia ji, Central Council Member and Chairman of the Committee, respected CA Gaurav Sharma ji, IPS, CA Prasun Kabra sir, IRS, CA Shivani Maheshwari ji, CA Gaurav Gupta ji, speakers and my dear professional colleagues. आप सभी को सादर नमस्कार. मुझे अत्यंत हर्ष और गर्व हो रहा है कि आज हम सभी अवेयरनेस एंड मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम फॉर सीए मेंबर्स फॉर पब्लिक सर्विसेज के इस महत्वपूर्ण अवसर पर इकट्ठे हुए हैं. आज का ये कार्यक्रम एक औपचारिक आयोजन नहीं बल्कि एक प्रेरणा का मंच है जहां से चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स को पब्लिक सर्विसेज के क्षेत्र में आगे बढ़ने के लिए मार्गदर्शन और उत्साह मिलेगा. मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा कि ये इंस्टीट्यूट का पहला प्रोग्राम है, इस कमेटी का भी और इस इंस्टीट्यूट में इस तरह का पहला प्रोग्राम है. मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा जो कमेटी के चेयरमैन है रोहित रुआटे जी का कि जयपुर शहर को ये प्रोग्राम दिया, उसके लिए रोहित सर बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका. हमारा जो आज का थीम है चार्टर्ड माइंड्स इन पब्लिक सर्विसेज इंस्पायरिंग द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन, वास्तव में ये बहुत सार्थक है. ये हमें याद दिलाता है कि हम केवल प्रोफेशनल्स नहीं बल्कि नेशन बिल्डर्स भी है. हमारे स्पीकर्स का हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं जो अपने अनुभवों और उपलब्धियों के माध्यम से हमें ये दिखाएंगे कि एक सीए पब्लिक सर्विसेज में कितना बड़ा योगदान दे सकता है. साथ ही इस प्रोग्राम के माध्यम से जो नरेंद्र मोदी जी का सपना है कि 2047 तक विकसित भारत बनाना है, तो एक सीए पब्लिक सर्विसेज में जाके उसमें बहुत बड़ा योगदान दे सकता है। आज के समय में ये अत्यंत आवश्यक है कि हम अपनी पारंपरिक करियर विकल्पों के साथ साथ पब्लिक सर्विसेज जैसे क्षेत्रों में भी अपने कदम बढ़ाएं। युवा साथियों के लिए ये एक सुनहरा अवसर है सीखने का, समझने का और अपने भविष्य की दिशा तय करने का। अंत में मैं फिर से धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा कमेटी का कि ये प्रोग्राम जयपुर ब्रांच को दिया। जय हिंद, जय आईसीआई।
Thank you, Chairman of the Jaipur branch, for your words of wisdom. Now I request CA Kamal Jain, Vice Chairman of the Jaipur branch, for his words of wisdom.
Thank you, Yash. Respected Prasun Kumar sir, Prasun Kabra sir, respected Gaurav Sharma sir, virtually connected with us, respected Shivani Maheshwari ma'am, respected Gaurav Gupta ji, our program director or CCM from our own city, CA Rohit Rawatia ji, CA Satish Gupta sir, and my other colleagues sitting on the dais and off the dais, and my dear friends. A very good evening to everyone. It is truly honor to be part of this program, which is initiative by the Committee of Member in Public Service. This theme of the today's program is Chartered Minds in the Public Service, inspiring the next generation. The chartered accountancy profession is often associated with the finance, taxation, audit, and compliances. However, the real strength of this profession is analytical thinking, integrity, discipline, and a strong governance. These qualities are not only essential for the professional excellence, but are also critical, important in the public administration and the leadership. India is today moving rapidly towards greater economic growth and global influence. In such a dynamic environment, and the country requires leaders who understand the financials, regulator frameworks, accountability, and ethical governance. The chartered accountant possesses a unique combination of these competitions. I just want to say a few lines. The chartered accountant, जब राष्ट्र सेवा में कदम रखता है, तो वो सिर्फ करियर नहीं चुनता, वो देश की दिशा तय करने की जिम्मेदारी स्वीकार करता है. It is therefore inspiring to see members of our profession successfully serving the nation in the prestigious services such as IAS, IPS, IRS, and many more. Their journey demonstrates the discipline and the perseverance required. The quality as a chartered accountant can also lead the impactful career in the public service. Before I conclude, I would like to sincerely appreciate the Public Service Committee, and I especially thanks to our program directors, CA Rohit Rawatia sir, and our CCM, CA Satish Gupta sir, give us the chance to organize such kind of program, first ever in Jaipur, first program in Jaipur. I congratulate to Public Service Committee for this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kamalji. Now I request our Central Council member and Program Director, C. Satish Kumar Gupta sir, for his motivational words.
थैंक यू यस। नमस्कार। सिविल सर्विसेज में जा रहे हैं दोस्तों, नमस्कार। थैंक यू। सीए प्रसून काबरा जी, a chartered accountant serving the country by joining the Indian Revenue Services, presently holding the charge of Commission of Income Tax Appeals at Hyderabad, proudly hails from Bhilwara, Rajasthan. CA Shivani Maheshwari ji, again a very humble chartered accountant, Joint Director, representing or serving the country as a ICOAS, My younger brother, CA Gaurav Gupta, to whom I know personally also, assistant manager, again a proud chartered accountant, serving in the one of the regulator of the country, SEBI. We have with us virtually CA Gaurav Sharma ji, again a chartered accountant as a Indian Police Services Commissioner of he is the Inspector General of Police. My brother in the council, a young chartered accountant, but working very dynamically and holding the chairmanship of this prestigious committee, members in Public Service Committee of ICI, CA Rohit Ruatia Agrawal ji, Chairman of the branch, my younger brother Raja Mordwaj, Secretary, Vice Chairman, Kamal, both are the Kamal Jain, and it's very difficult for us to differentiate. Respected Regional Council members, Ruchi and Vijay, Management Committee members of the Jaipur branch, Deepak Bhardwaj, Secretary of this committee, and my dear friends who are here to have a motivation, having a vision that you want to serve the country from chartered accountant to administrative services. Friends, balance sheets taught you discipline. Now you are ready to serve the nation with a vision. From auditing numbers to shaping policies is your mission. Your knowledge of system can transform the governance of country at a high scale. You are ready to stepping beyond ledgers, lead India where integrity prevails. My friends, this committee has a thought process which I can say out of box thinking. It is none of our business to prepare the administrative services aspirants, but still, since the mission is same, we as a chartered accountant want to serve the nation, and we want to serve the nation at its best. Then our committee under the dynamic leadership of young leader Rohit Ruatia ji thought that we should prepare chartered accountant having a vision to serve the nation by joining the administrative services in different formats. And this is, as rightly told by Chairman Jaipur branch and other speakers also, that it is the first step towards that particular target. And believe me, friends, that this initiation shall go a long way when we will find that our numbers are increasing in the administrative services, in the police services, in the revenue services, in cost accountant services, in other services. And together, that mind of chartered accountant, because the topic which has been given today, chartered minds in public service, meaning thereby we want that the minds who have chartered accountancy inbuilt come forward to serve the nation in public service. So this is the initiative of this committee, which is going to serve the nation for the times to come, and this initiation shall bring a very good results. But I would request Chairman that kindly give your thought process that how we can help those chartered accountants who are aspirant to become IAS, IPS, IRS, etc., but don't have sufficient funds for the coaching. Because coaching of these services is very costly. So at ICI, how we can help them, the who cannot afford that coaching process or other financial costs, how we can help them if they are ready to work, if they are having that brilliant mind, if they are ready to go ahead, then how can we handhold them, how we can support them financially so they can do their dream and we can be a party in making their dream true. Friends, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, under the dynamic leadership of our President Prasanna Kumar D and the Vice President Mangesh Kinre and 30 other council members, are working day and night for the betterment of profession and fraternity. I can assure you that these 32 members and the leadership of branches and the region are working without any benefit. And they are working sometimes 18 to 20 hours a day. My president, last year when he was vice president, had not visited his own town for 300 days, in a year. You can just think that what level of work, what dedication they have while working for the profession and fraternity. And this year, he has asked for all the council members that devote at least 200 days, minimum 200 days for the profession. This is the dedication we people at the council have. I am heading the 2 committees this year, apart from exam committee, board of studies, vice chairman, and disciplinary committee. And committee number 1 is the aggregation of CA firms, and committee number 2, the international taxation committee. You are leaders because you have a thought, you have vision to become a chartered, to become an IAS or IPS. So I would request each one of you, if you have something to share, your knowledge in regards to aggregation of CA firms, in regards to international taxation, or any other topic which you want to go ahead, please don't hesitate. Inform me, inform Rohit Bhai, inform the committees, inform the ICI. We are here to say welcome to each one of you. If you want to come dedicatedly for the profession, by any means, we would be happy to welcome you. So I would not take much of time because this is the time when you would like to hear our guests, Prashun Kabra ji, Madam Shivani, Gaurav, and all other speakers. One that panel discussion is also there with the toppers of the IAS, Sakshi Jain, Pankaj Soni, Anjani Mishra. You would definitely be benefited by all these deliberations, and I don't want to come in between you and them. So thank you very much. Thank you, Chairman, for giving me this time. Thank you. All the best. Jai Bharat, Jai Asia. Thank you.
Thank you, Yash, Management Committee member of branch. Very respected and honorable member of the institute. Of course, IRS, the Commissioner of Income Tax Appeals from Hyderabad, our own Prasun Kabra ji, sir. First of all, thank you very much for sparing your valuable time and coming right here for us, for the young mind, for the future of the institute as well as future in the at the country outside. Gaurav Sharma ji, available virtually, the IPS, the member of the institute. Shivani Maheshwari ji, from our own city. Gaurav Gupta ji, he is assistant manager in SEBI. Chairman of the branch, Satish Gupta ji, the Central Council member. Dignitaries on the dais and dignitaries off the dais, and the team of course, the team of my committee, members in public service, Deepak Bharadwaj ji, right from Delhi, he has come here. And very quickly we are doing this particular program. And all the aspiring minds of the profession. A very good evening to one and all present over here. So, it's the first program, sir, we are doing. And I was not sure about how things will flow. But the day when we took over the charge of the committee, immediately, I think after the next 2 days, the result of UPSC came, sir. I spoke to President, sir, and each year, sir, we are given different portfolio, different committees. So I spoke to him and I told him, sir, I want to work under this committee. So usually this committee is handled by the President and Vice President, most of the time. But I told him, sir, please give me an opportunity to work under this committee. I want to bring some significant reforms, and I want to develop an ecosystem which can give a hand-holding to all my professional colleagues who want to pursue the UPSC or the state public examination or maybe the regulator, and as well as our existing members who are there in public service. The President, sir, gave me this committee, and we did our first meeting at the very first week only on 8th March. I would like to share certain things which we planned, because I asked what we are doing in this committee since couple of years. We are in regular touch with our members who are in public service, and we are doing various activities. But then I find that why not do something for the minds who want to prepare for the UPSC. For the first time, this kind of initiative is being taken under this committee, that why not let us invite our members who want to pursue, because हमें पता नहीं था कितने numbers होंगे. So it was an experiment. Let's see, because हम लोगों को कभी पता ही नहीं चल पाता कि कौन कौन लोग prepare कर रहे हैं. But this time, जब मुझे पता चला 6 लोगों की 6 members हैं हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट की जिनकी रैंक आई, और हम लोगों को इतना गर्व महसूस हुआ एज एन इंस्टीट्यूट कि हमारे 6 members का स्टेक है. देन वी फाइंड कि अगर 6 members की रैंक आई है तो कितने हमारे members ऐसे होंगे जो परस्यू कर रहे हैं या परस्यू करेंगे. उसी दिशा के अंदर हमने सबसे बात करी जिनकी रैंक आई, एंड टुडे विल बी विटनेसिंग साक्षी जैन, पंकज सोनी एंड अंजलि मिश्रा who got good ranks in the UPSC examination, which they will be sharing their journey and their working and clearing their UPSC examination. So this was again an initiative. This year we are going to do the MOUs with the academies, with the institutions which are giving training to the after post qualification. Immediately after 8th of March, our next meeting, we wrote to NADT, we wrote to NASIN, and we wrote to Accounts and Audit Academy in Shimla. In fact, I spoke to at the academy, Labasna Academy also. So they told us that Labasna is for IAS, but definitely from your domain point of view, you can talk to NADT and NASIN and Accounts and Audit Services. And I am happy to share with all of you that they immediately agree, and they said, please do it at the earliest so that we can work in collective environment. Will be provided. और उन्होंने हमसे पूछा what you will do, so then we express them, sir, हम लोग का publications हैं, जो भी relevant material है, जो भी training में आएंगे उन लोगों के साथ हम लोग भी training sessions, हम लोग ICAI के माध्यम से, we are the regulator, will organize such training events, along with hand holding and along with dedicated cell of whatever support system you need from the institute side. So that was also approved in the board, approved in the committee, and then the communication has been sent, and will be soon meeting with the respective academies. ये हमारा पहला program है, and we are planning to do pan India. Each state will be doing such programs wherever we will receive the request, or we'll find that we can do such events, because today in ICAI there are 182 branches all over India, 5 regional councils, and with more than 4.5 lakh members and with more than 11 lakh students. ICAI is today now the world's largest accounting body, and we want how the contribution of ICAI can be more developed towards building nation. And of course, when I speak about members in public service, मुझे लगता है जब मैं सुनता हूँ उनके बारे में, और मुझे लगता है कि चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी का कोर्स क्लियर करने के बाद में, जिसको अपने आप को बोलते हैं कि बहुत टफ कोर्स है, उसके बाद में यूपीएससी क्लियर करना जिसमें 11 लाख से ज़्यादा बच्चे अटेम्प्ट करते हैं एनुअली, और उसके अंदर से एनुअली 1000 सिलेक्शन होता है. सो यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी में 1.5 लाख बच्चे एग्ज़ाम देते हैं और 15,000 सीए बनते हैं, और फिर उस सीए की संख्या में से यदि 11 लाख टोटल पूरे इंडिया में यदि यूपीएससी देते हैं तो उसमें से 1000 सिलेक्शन होना. यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड हाउ टफ दिस होल प्रोसेस इज. तो हमें लगा एज एन इंस्टीट्यूट वाई नॉट वी शुड वर्क इन दैट डायरेक्शन, सो दैट कलेक्टिवली हाउ वी कैन कंट्रीब्यूट इन द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ आवर कंट्री, इन द ग्रोथ ऑफ आवर नेशन एज वेल. हमने सर बात करी, वी वर डूइंग द वेबिनार्स, विल बी डूइंग द वेबिनार्स अगेन, विल बी डूइंग दीज काइंड्स ऑफ इवेंट्स रेगुलरली, सो दैट आप लोग सुन सकें, आप लोग समझ सकें कि क्या जर्नी हो सकती है, किस तरीके से हम लोग यूपीएससी के एग्जामिनेशंस में, पब्लिक सर्विस के एग्जामिनेशंस के अंदर हम लोग आगे बढ़ सकते हैं. टुडेज डिस्कशन इज ऑल्सो is designed in such a way कि हमारे बीच में regulator भी है, हमारे बीच के अंदर Indian Cost Accountant Services से भी है, हमारे बीच में UPSC से भी है, so that we can hear out them कि उन लोगों ने क्या process follow किया उनकी journey के अंदर, which can give you support, which can give you build that kind of support, along with जिनकी अभी rank आई. Again, I would like to tell one more thing, sir. On 8th of March, in our first meeting only, we discussed financial award scheme for the members who are pursuing the UPSC or in the public service. There we have, in principally we have designed the structure where we will be giving some support system to the preliminary clear, pre-clear and final and mains accordingly. The structure has been designed. We'll be getting it approved in the next committee meeting, and then it will come in the next month for the council approval. So I would be seeking the support from the Satish Gupta sir also when we come on this agenda in the council. So I think you can take the lead so that we can do it and we can implement it. Right now I can tell that from the budget point of view, we have made a budget of 2 crore rupees in terms of for giving the financial assistance to the members who want to pursue the UPSC, so that hand holding and support which somewhere we find. So जो बात हो रही है जिस बारे में, ताकि हम लोग किस तरीके से साथ में जुड़ के एज एन इंस्टीट्यूट की खाली ये ना हो कि हम लोग प्रोग्राम करते हैं, बट हम लोग हर उस मेंबर को जो अपना समय निकाल के, बिकॉज मैं मानता हूँ कि सीए बनने के बाद में सोसाइटी की सबसे बड़ी एक्सपेक्टेशंस होती है अब क्या, एंड नाउ अब हमको आगे बढ़ना है, बट इट इज़ अगेन अ डिफिकल्ट टाइम. सो इंस्टीट्यूट ने सोचा इस बारे में, कमिटी ने इस बारे में विचार किया, एंड ऑफकोर्स कमिटी को अलोन नहीं कहूँगा, जो भी मेंबर्स इन पब्लिक सर्विस है, बिकॉज इमीडिएटली हमने जब चार्ज लिया तो हमने मेंबर्स को इनवाइट किया फॉर देयर इनिशियल सजेशंस. तो उसमें सजेशंस में ये निकल के आया कि वाई नॉट डू कोलैबोरेशन विद द ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट, वाई नॉट गिव फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस स्कीम टू द members who are pursuing public service examinations. So these are actually suggestions from our own members, जिसके माध्यम से हम लोग उनको काम कर पा रहे हैं. मेरा सबसे आग्रह है डाइस पे भी जो लोग मौजूद हैं और फ्यूचर में आप लोग जो भविष्य के अंदर यूपीएससी क्लियर करेंगे और जो हमारे प्रेजेंटली जो भी रैंक होल्डर्स हैं, और जहाँ पे भी आप लोगों की रीच आउट हो, आप लोग इसी प्रकार से इंस्टीट्यूट के अंदर हम लोगों को सजेशंस दीजिए. हम लोग हर उस सजेशन के ऊपर काम करेंगे जिससे हम लोगों को मजबूती मिले, हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट को मजबूती मिले और हमारे देश को भी मजबूती मिले. उस दिशा में हम लोग अग्रसर है काम करते हुए. एक और इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़, हम लोगों ने 2 स्मॉल बुक्स पब्लिश करी है जो हमने किट के अंदर भी दी है, जिसमें एस्पायरेंट यूपीएससी के लिए हमने पब्लिकेशन दिया है, सो दैट दे कैन गो थ्रू इट एंड दे कैन रीड इट. सो इट्स अ फर्स्ट ऑफ इनिशिएटिव इन इट्स ओन काइंड that we are building it and will evolve by soon. Once again, congratulations to the rank holders who have cleared this attempt, and my best wishes to each one of you. मेरा आप सबसे आग्रह है कि इंस्टीट्यूट के साथ जुड़े रहें, इंस्टीट्यूट आप सब के साथ खड़ा है और हमेशा इसी तरीके से हम सब आगे बढ़ते रहेंगे. आप सब लोग इस कार्यक्रम में अपना समय निकाल के यहाँ आए, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत हृदय से धन्यवाद. हम और इस कमिटी के माध्यम से और अच्छा काम करने का प्रयास करेंगे. सो थैंक यू वेरी मच. जय हिंद, जय आईसीआई.
So, Alkas, at the outset, my apologies for not being able to attend because, as you all know, West Bengal is under the process of elections and we are being governed by the Model Code of Conduct. So, Nisha requested me to address this beautiful gathering, and therefore I requested that if I could join it virtually. They very honorably agreed to it, and I feel very humbled by this opportunity that I can interact with all the young chartered accountants who aspire to come into the civil services. First of all, I would like to, really commend Dr. Rohit Bhagwatia and his entire team who have organized this beautiful event. People always remember the first and the last. So I'm sure CA Rohit Bhagwatia will always remember as the first person from, the NPSC of the ICI who organized this kind of an event, where we can motivate our young fellows, the chartered accountants. I have, I'll say that this is striking, surprising, pleasing, because I do not find any other professional body all over the country. We interact with a lot of in civil services we have children who are coming from, officers who are coming from, the IITs, the doctors, all kinds of backgrounds, but we don't see any structured program in any of those professions from where they train their people to come into the civil services. This is one of its short, one of its initiative by ICI. I'm really happy with this, and I'm very impressed because all along I've worked as police commissioner in various places and SP in various districts, and I have been actively associated with some of the activities of the regional councils over there, the bodies of the ICI, and I've been very happy how even after we come to the services, the ICI is very considerate. They are very concerned about the people who are there, chartered accountants who are in services, and they can maintain that bond. The feeling of that pride in the degree, the pride in what do you call your own profession, that is there, which is very nice because ultimately at the end of the day, it is the pride which matters. What we as countrymen take pride in our tricolor, in our flag, in our national anthem, in the symbols of the nation. They are very important. So when we start taking pride in our work, when we start taking pride in our profession, in our institutions, we certainly go a long way. We take that extra mile to, extra step to go ahead and do something amazing for it. So that's something which I feel very good about today. I have very limited time, so I'll try to put it very shortly. I asked Nisha, how am I supposed to go about this whole thing, because I'm sure I wouldn't be able to interact so much with you people. So she told me that, sir, why don't you talk about your journey as a chartered accountant, and how you became a chartered accountant and then you decided to come into the civil services. So I feel that we all as individuals, we come from a very specific set of socio-economic backgrounds, which define our choices, what we want in life. I come from a very humble background, a very a service class family in Ludhiana. My father was in the intelligence organization. He has worked under the IPS officers. I've seen him rising from the ranks. So this, that was always there at the back of the mind, that how do you grow? I do not come from a professional family where I'll take the baton from my father and take over either the CA firm and become a member over there, or I do not come from a business class family. So I had to have a target. So coming to the civil services and specifically to the IPS, that I would be very honest with that, was always my kind of a cherished dream. But at the same time, all dreams don't come true. So what is a realistic plan? What do you do with your life? So I had, again, because I was from Ludhiana. Ludhiana is an industrial city, as you all know, and there is very good demand. It's a typical economic decision which you make for the chartered accountants. There's a lot of economic work which you can do over there as a CA. So I decided to pursue the degree of CA. CA, I was very lucky to get through my CA in the first attempt, which left me with some time to reflect if I should take civil services as a serious option. I cleared my CA in November 2002. I gave my exams. I got my results in January 2003, and I wrote my first prelims in May 2003. So there it is. You are writing your first civil service exam. That is at the gap of hardly 4 months from your CA results. So obviously, I was very ill prepared when it comes to writing those, the first prelims. But luckily, I passed, and I'm I'm using the word luckily now. That is not how you feel when you are there in that position. At that time, you feel overconfident. At that time, you feel that, oh, I'm a first attempt chartered accountant. I'm very brilliant. You have those impudent thoughts about yourself in your mind, and you move ahead. So I moved ahead with the mains attempt, but I crashed in the main attempt. I could not clear it to the interview, and that is when my head fell back into the space. So I went for the second attempt and I cleared it. But I had a very brief defining moment, a 124 hours of reflection. That one day which defined my life. I will not say it was not the day I got my results. It was the day when this incident happened with me. For the first time in my life, in any of the exams I had not cleared. I will not use the word failed, not cleared. So I had not cleared my mains for the interview, and for which I was very sure, because back-to-back successes really, kind of corrupt your head. They really, the vanity becomes your way of life. So I was very confident that I'll clear it, and I could not. I crashed in my head. I remember I just like shut the doors of my room. I did not meet anybody for 2 3 hours, and I was very low. Then I did not have my dinner properly. The next day morning, my youngest Jija, he has a business, so he has a very beautiful networking business in Ludhiana. He was the dealer of the mobile phones, and that was a big business at that time. So he knew a lot of people. So he came to me and he said that, why are you so upset? Why, like, you just crashed in one attempt? People fail in so many attempts in so many professions. I said, no, I'm like, I have a degree, professional degree, and I don't know why. Like, uh, how do I go about it? I want to do some job. I cannot waste my youth like this. I cannot let my degree go to waste. So he said that, fine, let's do something about it. And without any plan, nothing in his head, he put me in his car and we started driving around in the city of Ludhiana. He was on the phone constantly trying to, speak to so many people and trying to connect me to something. And he stopped in front of one building and he said that, why don't you go inside? And there is some interview going on. And why don't you just speak to them? I've told them about you. I went in, there was a long queue of children who were being interviewed. I was the last one to be called in because I was the very spontaneous one to enter the room. And there were three gentlemen who were interviewing, conducting the interviews. I was the last one. I sat there for 1.5 hours. They asked me two, three questions which were very hilarious. So the first question they asked me was, "What is your name?" I gave my name. Then they asked me "What is your age?" I said, "This is my age." And then they said that, "Okay, what is your educational qualification?" I said, "I'm a chartered accountant." They said, "When you remember all this, how do you forget that? For what have you come for? Which interviews have you appeared over here?" They told me they are the front desk interviews of the bank. What is so desperate in your life that you have come for this interview, being a chartered accountant? Then I told them my whole story, played it out that I've given this attempt, I failed, and I want a job and all this. So these gentlemen, they told me that we'll get back to you. And the chairman of the interview board, he was a senior manager that was the Bank of Punjab interviews going on, by the way. So he called me after 2 hours and he told me that we are ready to take you. We'll give you a posting, we'll give you a job in Ludhiana, and that's it. So that was the moment of reflection where I thought that I have today. Uh, I'll say it was 24 hours. I got the value of my degree that it was 24 hours and not even 24 hours, and I got a job opportunity. What if I, take one more year? Because this one more year will never come back in my life. This one more year can be a defining year of my life. So I decided that I called the gentleman. I said that, sir, I regret that I have to give up this offer and I'll move on to take my next attempt. He was a very graceful person. He said, "Beta, tu aage jao, hum tumhare saath hain. If you're not able to make that time, our doors are still open. We'll take you. We'll give you a job. You don't need to worry about that. You have a stability of career. Just go ahead and pursue your dreams. This is the time." So that was my defining moment. Why I told out this story to you is because, now is the time when you people, many of you who have cleared your exams, who have freshly become chartered accountants or recently become chartered accountants, you have this continuity of studying with you. You have this age with you. You have the time with you. Don't get confused. Confusion is very normal to be there in your mind. You are at a particular, I was at that age at that time when I used to think that I'll do this also, this also. It is fine. But it is very important to hold on to your goals, to your dreams, and take the risks. This is the age of taking the risk. You will not be able to take these risks after 4 years, 5 years, or 10 years down the line, and there won't be any window also. So if you are really passionate about becoming a civil servant, if you are really passionate about coming to the services, I'll say, yeah, Balab, there is nothing in you which stops you from being there. You have cleared the exam of CA. I'm a chartered accountant. I have written UPSC. I could not clear UPSC in the first attempt. I cleared it in the second attempt. But I can tell you with a hand on my heart that I found the CA exam to be much tougher than UPSC. UPSC was not tough. It is tricky. It needs a particular approach to preparation, which what do you call is which for which you have to open your perspectives. Why do you want to be a civil servant is your personal choice. I am not telling you that ideals of serving to the nation and all those things. Being a chartered accountant, you are not doing any less service to the nation. Every person, even a sweeper on the road who is sweeping the floors, is not doing any less service to the nation. Let's not belittle any profession by saying that X is doing more service to the nation and Y is doing less service to the nation. We are all equally contributing to the cause of the nation. You stop any spoke of the wheel and you see how the whole bus will stop. So we all have to function together. Why you want to become a civil servant is the same question as why did you want to become a chartered accountant? Because it is your personal choice. It is your passion to be there, which has been conditioned in your head by the accumulated socio-economic exposure which you have got so far in your life. You put somebody thinks that civil services is glamorous. Somebody thinks that civil services is it opens opportunities for great work. Fine, everything is there. Civil services is a very pervasive opportunity to express yourself As a chartered accountant, you have a particular technical field to approach. As a civil servant, you're a generalist. You have to know almost everything, under the sky, and you have to approach with a very open mind. You have to, delve into the social fabric of the society, in the nitty gritties, the caste conflicts, the class conflicts, the religious conflicts, the traditions, the cultures. You cannot just turn around your eye and say that, no, this is not my business. Everything under the sky, everything, even one country dropping a missile on the other as a civil servant becomes your business, because this might have an effect in your area. So it is personal choice, as an individual, if you want to come to the civil services or not. What I'll say is, once you commit yourself to the task, then give yourself enough time and prepare properly. I like how Dr. Rohit was mentioning about, the figures and the numbers, that how big the competition is and all that. That's because, in philosophy, we call this as the Dunning-Kruger effect. So what is the Dunning-Kruger effect is that in a room, where there's an expert and a non-expert, an expert will always think that there are all experts over here, and a non-expert will think that I am the only expert over here. It's like when we become the chartered accountants, and or maybe IITians, or we doctor, or there are people who are doctors who are professionally qualified, who know that what competition is, what studies, how difficult it is. They always tend to evaluate themselves less vis-a-vis the others, and we always feel that, the field of competition is very wide, while it might not be there, while it could be just be the other way around. So what I will try to request you is, don't get into any kind of statistical dilemma in your head. Don't try to approach this thing with a mission in your mind. Just approach it as an exam, like you did with CA. You wrote CA exams, you wrote your BCom exams, you wrote your plus 2 exams. There is a pattern to the exams. Do a good research about which subjects are scoring, which are not, which have, what are the 10-year papers showing you. Don't get into those discussions where you talk about, we will sit with people, and, I've seen people, when you're preparing for the civil service, they're always out there to argue with the other person sitting on that cup of tea, and, my viewpoint is stronger. Everybody has to have a viewpoint, and you should not try to push your viewpoint on the other person. As a logical person, you are just supposed to have a viewpoint, and then if you find anything useful, just add to it. When you might do it as an academician later on, or as an officer, but when you're preparing, just see that you have to write an answer over there. Number one. And number two is, uh, the mistake which I made in my first attempt, and which we all have this weakness when we are preparing for the exam, especially when we come from, very technical backgrounds like CA and all those. We are not very good in writing answers. Unlike CA, in UPSC, there are some of the toppers who would say that, the preparation of the exam begins on the day of the exam. So if you go to the examination hall with a closed mind, that I read a question over here and this was the answer I read and I should write that, then it is wrong. You have to frame an answer. Now you cannot think like, there is a difference. Now you can think like a chartered accountant. You have to think like a civil servant. You have to think about all the material which you have read, and you have to, like Chat GPT, you have to create an answer. You have to have an open mind and a risk-taking mind, where you have to give your viewpoint and go ahead with, giving a comprehensive outlook, where you have to rather I'll say, tease the teacher as to why will you not give me that extra mark. So there it is, that the preparation should be, just stay grounded, leveled. Number one, don't be arrogant. Don't think that, I am a chartered accountant, so I'm just there. And at the same time, don't suffer from the Dunning-Kruger effect also, that, you're low, or you think that everybody else is better than me. There should be a balance in this. Don't get confused by a lot of stories, a lot of, stories of struggle, a lot of stories of, you are your own story, please. I mean, like, follow your own path. You have a soul, you have a heart which is telling you things to do. And I'm just giving a short example. Last year I went for the Goa Ironman, and, I was really confused. Where am I? My swimming is not good. My cycling is, I didn't buy a very good cycle. It was my first attempt, very rudimentary. And I would let all the stories about the previous Ironmans overwhelm me. But I went there and I did it. It was very easy. I didn't find this thing to be like very difficult. So that's what I'm saying. When just have your own perspective to the things, prepare in the format of the examination, and go ahead. Now, let us talk about what happens when you come to the civil services. It's a new world. It's a package deal. There are, here I'll just like draw a line, because I just read the profile of a lot of speakers. They will enlighten you about, what kind of exposure they had in their services. I will talk about the exposure in my exposure which I had. Now, let me just give you a perspective. In our country, we have three types of services broadly. One are the state services. State services are recruited, selected, and employed by the state government. The second are the central services. They are recruited, selected, and employed by the central government. And there are all India services. The all India services are the services which are recruited, selected by the central government, but we work for the state cadres and we also give our services on deputation to the central government, sometimes absorbed by the central government. These all India services are only three in the country. They are the Indian Administrative Service, Indian Police Service, and IFS, not the Indian Foreign Service, the Indian Forest Service. Out of which UPSC selects only two All India services, the Civil Service Examination, which is the IAS and the IPS. The Forest Service is a separate examination. Now, why I said this is because when as an all India service officer, when you get into the service, while it gives you a sudden jump in your profile. We all aspire for certain things in life. We want a very respectable accommodation, a respectable car, a respectable paraphernalia. While all these things become like they look very attractive, but at the same time it offers you a big challenge. You have to run an institution. You're not a college boy anymore or a college girl anymore who can just kind of go about making mistakes. So you cannot. You are expected to act like a very serious officer, and you have a very short span of time. You have this 2 year period of training, which is effectively, I'll say, it conditions you, but not as much as the challenges of the task demand. So you have to really adapt. You have to really adapt very quickly to the demands of the job. And the second thing is the cultural shock which you will have. So in All India services, the IS and the IPS are the cadre-based services. What are the cadre-based services? We get allocated to the cadres. So if I am selected from the pool of the batch of the IPS officers of that year, we were a certain set of officers who were given to West Bengal. Now West Bengal becomes my parent cadre. They are like my adoptive parents who I have to live with for the whole of my life. I've been donated to them by the government or central government, and but with a rider that we can be removed only by the President of India. Now, this is how the whole scheme of things work, and I can go and work on deputation with the central government, but my parent cadre, my adoptive parents always will be the state government. So now you move into a cultural shock. You are into a new place. This is this a new a new lifestyle. So example, I'll just say that for since this is being done in Jaipur, I expect a lot of participants to be from Rajasthan. So I'll just give you an example. So imagine if I tell you today that come on, tomorrow you are relocating to Tamil Nadu and you'll be working there for your life. No, what kind of a shock? Or maybe I'll tell you that tomorrow you are relocating to Nagaland and you'll be living there for your life. Now, this whole fanciful thing of you never imagined a life beyond your comfort zone. For you, all the symbols of power, all the symbols of glamour were in your comfort zone. वो हिंदी की कहावत है ना कि जंगल में मोर नाचा किसने देखा. तो फॉर यू इट इज लाइक कि मैंने सोचा तो बहुत कुछ था अपनी फैमिली के लिए करेंगे दिखाएंगे, लेकिन पहुंच कहाँ गए, यहाँ देखने वाला कोई नहीं. एंड देयर यू आर ऑफिसर फ्रॉम डे वन. You never had friends there, you never had relatives there, you were never nobody's bhatija, chacha, or bhanja or anything. You straight away landed as an officer, and you will live your whole life over there as an officer. So nobody saw your growth there. They just saw you on day one as an officer. They had a certain set of expectations from you, and you have to deliver on these expectations till the end of your service career. This is the cultural shock which you will have to accommodate yourself. New language, new lifestyle, new fooding habits. Now there are certain people who now, your capability will be in more like how quickly you adapt to it. There are certain people who take years to do that. You suffer. You see, adaptability is the dictum, the principal dictum of civil services. You will keep moving around like gypsies. You will be living out of your suitcase. You will have to adapt to new people, and you will be interacting with a wide diaspora of people. So you have to have that kind of a perspective where, like I always had this feeling that learning a language is like opening a door to a room full of surprises where you have new poetry, new culture, new art and craft. New life of the people. आए क्या मतलब धरती पे करने क्या है, अगर खाना खाया सोया और चले गए. You have to know about where do you live, what is your existence, and thanks to the civil services you get this opportunity of going there and working in that completely new environment. So if you can adapt, that is the best thing to do. Second thing is your competition has not you have not gotten over the competition. Your competition has just started. you were competing with 13, 11 lakh odd people, out of which there might be like 9 lakh non-serious people. Some were serious but not competent. Some are not this. Now you are competing with a set lot of officers only for postings. They're all IPS officers. They have come through that same rigorous process of examination. They're as sharp as you, as talented as you. 19-20 का फर्क है, and everybody is cutthroat in pulling their way through into to manage the jobs and do the work. You're always going to be somebody's doing a better job than you, somebody is doing like even better than the other person. So you're always being evaluated. Now it becomes a fight of prestige. Now it becomes a fight of value. So you can expect that kind of a what do you call change, where the competition is not only intense but it is there to stay for the whole of your life. Now again, one more point is it's some people have this thing that government service hai to आराम है. No, civil service में आराम हराम है. मतलब there is no concept of leaves. There is no, in the field you will feel guilty if you go and ask for the leave. Your leaves are being evaluated from a top level. I have I can tell you, I just got posted as IG STF in traffic around like 1.5 years back, and that is the time when for the first time I took 7 days leave at a stretch. Otherwise, for even somebody dying at my house in Punjab, I was given 1.5 days leave. Jao karke aao, because there's a lot of work to do over here. So that kind of a thing is there. It is giving you a very structured growth. It is giving you a very safe environment to flourish, to, no, I'll say, to survive. But at the same time, when you come to the civil services, you might have that notion aram karenge, lekin wo hota nahi hai, because it is so competitive, it is so nagging that you will always want to push yourself. Otherwise, you will start questioning your own life choices after a while कि मैं फिर आया क्यों यहाँ पे यार, जब सब इतना काम कर रहे हैं तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ. So that is the thing that you will start pushing, and you will never have time, and you will never want time also. Well, that work life balance is not there in civil services. You are not on holidays, you're not on this. Those people who are there, trust me, they are not doing very good. They have somehow got that detachment from the job. If you're seeing them, most of the people, they are very committed. They are on their jobs, they're doing fantastic. And trust me, this country of 140 crores is just not running by chance. It is not that it is some kind of a miracle which is rolling the wheels. There are officers who are working in day out and making this whole system, this mammoth system, function. And everybody has a contribution to make. Everybody is making that contribution, and there are very progressive policies, and there are very progressive decisions which are taking everything forward. So you will be a part of that system, and you will have to work with that particular sense of responsibility. So just expect kind of. I'll say strong competitiveness, and not that babu wali vibe. वो आपको मतलब नहीं मिलेगी. And again is alienation from the society. So while you'll know many people, वो होता है ना कि तेरा शहर कितना अजीब है, यहाँ कोई हमारा दोस्त नहीं है. कुछ एक शेर सुना है, आपका कोई दोस्त नहीं होगा. You will never have a kind of a what do you say? You might have a lot of time with you, but you will never have freedom because of your profile. You are so much in scanner all the time that you cannot have free interaction with people. You're very lonely. You've left your friends, your relatives back in your state. कोई नहीं है. और यहाँ पे everybody has seen you as an officer. They have worked with you. There are, for example, if I'm in police, very far and few good people come to policemen for work. और जो आ रहे हैं और मतलब you don't want to interact with. So if you have to maintain your integrity, your neutrality, and a good image, you will be lonely. So why I'm putting this point is it's very important when you get in the services, you should have a kind of a good habit, a kind of a kind of an occupation not in a paying, or you cannot have a paying occupation, as something which occupies you, your reading habits, your extracurricular activities, because there will be times when you will be completely lonely, when you don't have much work to do. That is the time when all these things condition you. So there is a good component of loneliness. This good component. It's like you are that naval, you're that sailor at the sea. You're there in life. Many people think that you're having fun, you're going places, no, but inside you're lonely. You don't have much to do. So that kind of a thing will be there, and we always kind of suffer from those things. And then but again, this system has amazing things. The social adaptability, the exposure to work, the decisions. Now, in the middle of the elections, I'll tell you, many of you must be what, like 23, 24 of this age. Now, I can tell you, like in Bengal, right now in the middle of elections, there are boys and girls of the age group of 26, 27, 28 who are heading districts, who are conducting this serious election process. There cannot be any democratic process which is above elections, and they are doing it. They are running huge systems. They are responsible for the voting rights of 25, 30 or lakh odd people. There is a district magistrate of North 24 Parganas which has a population of 1 crore. Many European countries don't have that population. And he is responsible for the voting rights of these, and he's running a system. Now imagine an exposure of a person of the age of 29 or 30, the level at which he is functioning. There are SPs who are maintaining law and orders, dealing with crimes, mafias, international crimes, and all that. We get that exposure at a macro level. It might be not a very paying job. You might feel that, it's not a job which my colleagues in CEO look, he's making like 10 lakh rupees per month and all that, but it is a very satisfying job. At the end of the day, you are never competing with that person for money. You are always competing in civil service profile, because the kind of social standing and recognition you get, he will never. You don't need to strive. The most beautiful part of the service is you don't need to strive to be noticed. You will never have that identity crisis. There is always a system which is watching you. There is always a system which is evaluating you. You are continuously under the scanner. It is up to you if you perform and take the command, or if you, kind of just give it up and what do you call, perish in oblivion. But even in oblivion, they are watching you, what you are doing. All acts and of yours are important. There are certain feelings that people have this notion that the systems are politically driven. Should we be going there? They're very complicated and all that. They are politicians. Uh, Let me put it to you that if you are living in a society, what is good in society? Are chartered accountants the best in society? Are doctors the best in society? Is the person who is selling the cars best in society? Who is best in society? Is decided by the people of the country. The people of the country vote and choose your leaders, and the leaders decide the policies of this country. We are there to help them in formulating the policies and implementing them. That is our role. We share that critical position where we make sure that nothing goes wrong, and at the same time, the will of the people gets expressed within the constitutional bracket. So there, if you think that your boss is illiterate, he doesn't know. He's a like 10th pass somebody, or he comes from this thing, and why should I be? I've seen a lot of people passing snide remarks to us कि यार देखो यार कैसे UPSC पास करके कैसे लोगों के अंडर काम करना पड़ता है. Don't think like he's a smart person. What is the definition of smartness? You have come through a rigorous process of election. That is not a mean thing. That is not. It is not nowhere any less than passing an exam, getting evaluated every 5 years. And this is how the democracy. Every person in the country is important. The uneducated people are important. The poor people are important. Everybody is important. And when you're working in a political social system, you have to keep their wishes and desires above you. We don't work for certain selected elite educated rich people or the middle class people. We work for everybody. So we need to have a voice of all of them. So it is our job to guide those bosses. If he is illiterate, guide them. If he is not knowledgeable, increase his knowledge, and at the same time listen to what he is saying. Listen to his, like you listen to the dreams of your child when he speaks, and then you think, बच्चे को क्या चाहिए मैं देखूं. It's like that, you formulate the dreams, you work it out, and you implement in the field. So that is how you have to, constantly work yourself in the system. But if you come with that closed mindset, why I'm giving you all these examples is because if you have this closed mindset about the services, you will suffer. There are some young boys and girls who have cleared the exams recently. I'm giving you this thing from like 20 years of my experience, and I work in West Bengal, which is a pretty challenging cadre for the police services. It is not that we just do 20 years of service while sleeping on the couch. We have a lot of challenges to face. So from that experience, I'm telling you that you have to approach this whole thing with a very, very, kind of a open mind. One more thing is, which if like that is my request to the institute, because you people have, this is a very good initiative where you are telling the children to come into services. I'm an old school. I did my CA in 2002. I did my UPSC in 2005. I'm sure the youngsters know better than me about the curriculum of CA and the UPSC right now. Technology has become very, very important. It is very important to have a grasp of technology, to be friendly to it. So if, if we can introduce courses in our curriculum, in our preparation for the people who are going to the services about, technology, AI, the AI tools, how to get into it, the more knowledge about the softwares, the utilize, how do you make the softwares, how do you build, make API connection. There's so many technological things. You have to start looking at everything from a technological perspective. Technology is the most justifiable answer to the inequalities and the injustices in the society. Technology is something which removes the human element, and once the human element is removed, you are. I'm just giving you small examples. When you jump the red light, you get a text somewhere that you have jumped the red light. This is the most justifiable system because there is no human who is there to make errors. There's a camera, there is a machine, there is a transmission system, there's a database which flashed your vehicle number, and there you got the text in your thing, and you start doubting. Even if that system made a mistake, that was not with vengeance, and you will not feel bad about it. But where do you feel bad? Where when cop stops you on the way that आपने red light जब किया 500 रुपया दीजिए 600 रुपये में ले लीजिए. These are all bad things. You know, they, and at a very grassroots level, these technological interventions not only make the systems very efficient, but they also, send a huge message of justice and equality to all the people. So we have to kind of, increase our drive towards technology. That's one point which I wanted to tell you all. And there is a feeling in a lot of people. I don't know. It's a very uninformed opinion. It's a very dystopian opinion. That the system is based on inequalities and injustices. It is not like that. UPSC recruitment is very, very fair. Trust me. I'm telling you with my experience. When I was in Ludhiana, so I had one relative of mine. I was preparing for the CA, and incidentally, his son was also preparing for the CA. So he came and he took me to see somebody's house. And I was walking with him. I was a young boy at that time, and he said that, "What are you doing these days?" So for the first time, he maybe noticed me in his life, and I said that I'm preparing for Mamaji. I'm preparing for CA. He said, "Oh, it's very difficult. Your brother is doing it. He's not been able to do it. It's very difficult. Why don't you try something else? It requires a lot of intellect." And he said that, and he went off. Incidentally, I also did not take it seriously. I just kind of uh, you overlooked this thing, and then after 1 year when he came back, 1.5 years, for the same job, incidentally, for the same job, meeting the same person, I was again told to escort him to his house. It was nearby to my house. We were walking. And then he again said the same thing. He said, "So, what are you doing these days?" I said, "Mamaji, I did my CA." He said, he gave me a very, kind of a very queer look, very strange look. That, "Did you?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Okay, a brother could not steal." I said, "Fine. I mean, that's very personal. We are not judgmental about it." So then he said, "Well, what is your plan? When are you going to take up the job?" I said, "I'm just figuring out I should take a shot at civil services." And he said, "You mean to say वो जो IS IPS वाला होता है?" I said, "जी बिल्कुल." He said, "No, beta, there's no scope. That's only for the rich. That's for the blue blood. There's a lot of money. बहुत पैसा दे दे कि एक post मिलती है." So I was trying to reason out with it. That could be the case with the state service, but I said, not. There is no knowledge, there is no valid data with me which I could make any comment right here in this public forum. So I tried to reason with it. That's not how UPSC is. It's a very fair process of selection. And when, anyways, hold and behold, later on I cleared the examination, and I could impress upon him that these dystopian ideas about the civil services are wrong. The civil services examination is based on the just world hypothesis. कि ठीक आदमी के साथ ठीक ही होता है. Although just world hypothesis is not a very correct hypothesis for living a life generally, but for a civil service examination, I will say that it is very correct. But the only thing is, you need to know what you're supposed to do. Your preparation, your approach has to be, perfectly online. There's no harm. I'm not a person. I'm not here to tell you about the nitty-gritties. The youngsters who have just cleared the examination. They will be able to tell you better. And secondly, when you commit to yourself, please, I'm again repeating, make the choice of your subjects very, very carefully. Because every civil service examination is a commitment of at least 1.5 to quarter to 2 years of your life. One examination, one selection stroke, one rejection will take almost like, and you're nobody. ये सांप सीढ़ी का खेल है कि आप अगर वो लास्ट वाली, आपको याद है ना, हम लोग सांप सीढ़ी खेलते थे, लास्ट में एक सांप आता था जो आपको नंबर 1 पे ले आता था. So it is like that. It is not like CA का एग्जाम की आपने फाइनल फेल कर दिया तो कोई बात नहीं, दोबारा दे दीजिए, इंटर तो हो गई है आपकी. आप वापस आ गए नंबर 1 पे, and you are starting the whole bloody process again from, you are starting the whole process again from, prelims and mains and everything. So this particular thing has to be kept in mind, that you will be committing your youth, your energy, a very, very critical time of your life to this project. But trust me, it is worth committing. Even if you don't see through it, you are still a chartered accountant, and you will have a worldview, a perspective, a personality, a outlook which will always distinguish you from the others. We people might be good looking or bad looking, but once they open their mouth, once they talk, once they express their opinion, you're able to clearly tell how educated, how interesting this person is, how much you can interact with that person. You will certainly become the most interesting person in the house. And lastly, because I can see some of the young ladies sitting in the front, that's my word for them. For women, particularly, if there is any kind of a, if there is any kind of a doubt or confusion in the mind that how these services are for you, let me tell you, they are the most forthcoming services. A lot of women officers are now in the services and they're doing amazing jobs. We have some of the toughest districts. I'm telling you, now I can take pride in the fact that the most challenging service for women anywhere in the entire civil service paraphernalia are the police services. And the most challenging aspect to the police service is the law and order. Because हमारा law and order बाकी services इस तरह की नहीं, दूर से गोली मार दी, दूर से गोला मार दिया. You have to go and pick up a kind of a scuffle and a fight with the people right face to face in the field, and there women are going and doing it. They are toiling it out. We have officers. We have some of the trickiest communally sensitive districts in Bengal, which are being run by lady officers, and they are doing it. They are doing an amazing job. So don't keep that confusion in your mind if for women what kind of a thing. And secondly, when you get into the job, when you are in civil service also, I see, sometimes it's a feeling that women, when they come to the services, they get married to like officers from the services only. And then it becomes more like a chase to the officer's career rather than the woman's. Please don't get into that, kind of a, what do you call the surrender attitude that I am more like a homemaker and I've got into services. I've got a good decoration degree. मैंने civil service pass कर लिया तो बड़ा हो गया. It's a respect and all. No, your job has started. You are a resource. You have to work it out. And trust me, I am not telling you this thing from my perspective of मैं ज्ञान नहीं दे रहा हूँ आपको. I'm giving you a serious talk because my wife is also in services. She's from the foreign service. She's heading the Indian mission in Islamabad in Pakistan, and I take care of the children over here. So it's not that it is her responsibility to take children, it is her assignments also. So she goes out and she works, and I am the single parent who is responsible for the family. So we share the responsibilities because she did not also pass the Indian Foreign Service just to be a wife. She has a career, she has 35 years to look forward to working and getting satisfaction. And of course, I will never be a happy husband if I have a very, kind of a very depressed wife at home who is always repenting ki, मैं क्या कर रही हूँ. When she starts questioning her life choices, you might be busy as a youngster, but with family and all that, once the children go and everything, you start questioning your life choices. What did I do? So there you chase your dreams, you do whatever you want to, and always have that sense of equality in when you are in services, that you are entitled to it. You are entitled to everything. But at the same time, that's a general thing that whenever you all come to the services, please don't come with that general, thought of entitlement in your head that we are entitled to everything. No, there are no free lunches over here. There are bare minimum things for which you will be entitled to, but for everything else, which gives you recognition and respect, you will have to really, really strive hard. And if you do it, trust me, sky is the limit. This is going to be the most satisfying experience of your life. But commit to it if only you are passionate about it and you are sure that you want to do it. You want to be somewhere. It's a field which is entirely different from being a chartered accountant. But being a chartered accountant and and with that exposure to the difficult examination process you have gone through, you certainly have a strong edge, I'll say, vis-a-vis other people who are attempting these examinations. They are, I won't say nowhere close to you, but then again, you certainly have edge. You are at par with people like IITians and all that. Even they fail. Even they are not able to make through the examination. So you are at par with some of the best minds in the country. After going through this rigorous process, you have conditioned yourself. You have brought yourself there. It's just like taking another risk, another bold step, another shot where to see a new life. I don't know, good or bad, that God will decide for you. But certainly it's a life of opportunities, a new life. That's all I will say. Thank you very much. How do I go about it now?
Respected Central Council members, Dr. Rohit Ruwatia ji, Satish Gupta ji, office bearers of Jaipur branch of ICAI, Shivani and Gaurav, and my dear friends. I am really overwhelmed that this first time such type of event is being organized and I am being asked to grace this occasion. It is really great that CA Institute invites us, and particularly when I belong to Rajasthan. So thanks a lot, Rohit ji. रोहित जी इसका I have made a small this presentation. It's just for making it like just an initial thing, means what we can do and what we can do from CA perspective while starting preparation for civil services and all. The agenda means it's just five steps we have taken. It is an opportunity to explore nation, to explore diversity, to explore your own capabilities, and to explore yourself. As Gaurav Sharma sir has told, means the way the civil services, in whatever services you are, whether it is IAS, IPS, IRS, the young age at which you get all the opportunities and the responsibility which nation puts on you, it's so incredible and it's so overwhelming that वो होता है जैसे कि जब शादी होती है तो जिम्मेदारी आ जाती है, ये वैसा ही है कि जब आप ऑफिसर बनते हो तो जिम्मेदारी आ जाती है. When in first year you handle being an IRS officer, handle files of big groups like Reliance, Vedanta, where I worked, where I started my career, and when in first year, second year, I worked as the assessing officer, it really makes you proud that you have achieved something. It gives pride to serve nation, to serve society, to serve your duties towards your family and to yourself. It comprises of, civil services comprises of basically 24-25 services. Major services are IAS, IFS, IPS, IRS, but it doesn't make any difference in whichever service you are, whether it is even trade service, postal service, cost account service, or whatever. You will get an opportunity really to serve the society to the best extent possible. There is no doubt about it. These are different services comprises of this. Every year there are 800 to 1,000 vacancies. Basically it's an exam for job, just like रोजगार समाचार में इसका notification publish होता है और आपको उसके थ्रू जाना पड़ता है. सरकार कभी 500 वैकेंसीज निकालती है, कभी 800 वैकेंसीज निकालती है और उसके लिए 13, 14, 15 लाख लोग आपस में लड़ते हैं, करते हैं और उसके अंदर से लास्ट में जाके एक पूरा प्रोसेस होता है जिसमें 800,000 जॉब्स गवर्नमेंट देती है. Why to opt for civil services? Now these days aspirants and all, means I think everyone must have seen it. So it is basically both generalist and specialist services, all India services, which is cadre-based services consisting of IAS, IPS, Indian Forest Service, and central services comprises of all other services. It gives you chance to work across different domains, center and state governments, and also give you opportunity to do higher studies further. This is just an illustration, but while filing their nomination papers, Modi ji also has to stand, and this DM sits in front of him as an election officer. So it gives you a dignified life, immense responsibility from the start of the career, diverse work avenues at different level, policy implementation, policy formulation, including international deputations, a good mix of career stability and challenges, and leadership opportunities for grassroots changes. Stages of examination, I think recently passed Sakshi and all, they will be in much better position to explain all these things. But these are the basic stages: preliminary, main, and then personality test, that is interview thing. Application forms are out during Feb, March every year. There is objective test. These are just figures. Ultimately, out of these 10 lakh aspirants, how many are serious, how many are not, it completely depends on you. Means there is no competition. This is completely a marathon. There is no 100 meter, 200 meter, or even 800 meter. This is pure marathon. You need to be there. You just need to be there. Prelims exams are being conducted during May, June every year, and it consists of one GS, that is General Studies, and then CSAT exam, which is qualifying in nature. Then mains exams are these. There is a essay, one optional subject, and having 2 papers and qualifying papers of Hindi, English, and regional language. This thing. These are the course curriculums. Basically, everything under this roof, under the sun, is being covered in UPSC. So it completely depends on you how and what to study. In these all coaching institutes and all, they help to great extent, as they limits us what are the important things which we can study or not. These are just a few suggestions that newspapers, whoever is aspiring to do UPSC, he should go for, from beginning itself, he should go for some major newspaper reading habit, particularly Hindu and Indian Express, different current affair magazines, and all these. One of the main considerations is how to select your optional subject. Choose your graduation subject as an option only if it is available, manageable, and you are confident and strong in it. Means, अगर आप CA हैं, पर अगर आप कॉमर्स का जो पैटर्न है और वो आप बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं है, जबकि कोई दूसरे सब्जेक्ट में अगर अच्छे नंबर आ रहे हैं, तो यू शुड गो फॉर दैट. यू शुड गो फॉर वेदर इट इज़ पब एड और फिलोसफी और जोग्राफी और वॉट एवर इट इज़. बिकॉज CA का पैटर्न और कॉमर्स का UPSC का पैटर्न अलग हो सकता है. Besides that, these are some you need to see previous year questions, syllabus, check whether quality resources are available, answer writing skills, and your interest to sustain optional study for long duration. Personality test consists of these different things. Means basically they can ask each and everything, whatever you write in your sort of CV or biodata. Means, for example, I write something about football in my this thing, so they ask me about that American football, and then which was means sort of that American soccer thing, American football, which is the one of the variant of rugby. So means I was not aware about that at that time. Means I was just thinking about football from the regular football thing. So they can ask each and everything. So you have to be very careful while writing your hobbies and everything. From CA perspective, how to prepare for exam. These are some myths which need to be busted, that you need to be topper material, you must know everything about everything, you must study 16 hours every day, you must cram up umpteen facts. Frankly speaking, जो quality आती है, वो यहाँ पे जो भी CA बैठे हैं, बहुत सारे लोग उससे यू कैन से अगर यहाँ के हिसाब से कि लोअर IQ लेवल के भी होते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. बट द थिंग इज़ उनमें पेशेंस होता है, परसिवरेंस होता है, वो टिके रहते हैं. 3 अटैम्प्ट, 4 अटैम्प्ट, 5 अटैम्प्ट, 6 अटैम्प्ट, 7 अटैम्प्ट, मीन्स इट्स जस्ट अ गेम कि आप वहाँ पे हो, जब तक होता नहीं है तब तक आप वहाँ पे हो. हमने 5 CNA हमने एक साथ प्रिपरेशन चालू की थी. उनमें से अल्टीमेटली 4 का नहीं हुआ, एक बस मेरा हुआ. पर इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि उनमें से, जबकि 2 उसमें रैंकिस्ट थे और बाकी सब फर्स्ट स्टैंड वाले थे, बट इट्स कम्प्लीटली मैनी टाइम्स थिंग्स आर नॉट इन योर हैंड. पर अगर आप लगे हुए हो तो आपका कभी ना कभी किसी स्टेज पे होने के बहुत ज़्यादा चांसेस हैं. What UPSC wants in you is the logical thinking and rational approach. This is the age limit. For general, it is 32, OBC 35, SC ST 37, and 6 attempts are available to general, OBC 9, and for ST SC, it is unlimited attempts. There is no right or wrong method for preparation. There are persons who never do any coaching, and just by going to they do their BA thing and normal humanity guys, and they cracked UPSC like in first attempt. And many of those who keep on doing coaching and everything, but so there is no short formula of this thing. This is just a preparation strategy. It is a comparison for means how CA can fare well, means how CAs are more suitable for UPSC. In CA we have stages of foundation, inter, finals. In UPSC we have pre-mains interview thing. Nature of cutoff, in CA it is pre-decided, but it is UPSC basically it's the exam against vacancy circular. So there is no pre-decided thing. Approach is it sequential and integrated, and in UPSC अगर आपका इंटरव्यू तक आके नहीं होता तो आपको वापस 0 से स्टार्ट करना है. CA में ये नहीं होता है. डाइवर्सिटी ऑफ सिलेबस, CA में लिमिटेड सिलेबस होता है, उसमें पूरा सब कुछ पढ़ना होता है. एंड UPSC में आपका हर साल एक अलग साल होता है, आपको नई चीज़ करनी पड़ती है. Challenges that CAs might face, they already devoted 4-5 years on CA, so pressure is to give back to family and earn. Existing work obligations are there, and new subjects like science, tech, history जो CA में वो बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ते हैं, वो सब चीज़ें, geography and all that. But how CAs can take edge? They are already habitual of distant learning. So UPSC, now those days are gone that you need to be in Delhi to clear UPSC. Now in this era of EdTech and all, you can do from wherever you are, and CAs are quite habitual to this. Now in these new tuition video and all that, what CA guys are doing, they have great ability to deal with huge syllabus and pressure situation they can easily handle. Timetable, just as a CA thing, UPSC thing also needs a lot of time management. Peer group is very important for clearing all the things. So, lot of things depends on peer group. If your peer group is having common subjects and all those guys are with you, so it relieves you of lot of things. Read, revise, test, repeat means ultimately practice is the key. Patience and perseverance, which I told, it's basically, in my introduction, he told that I joined 3 companies, Vedanta, ICICI, Future Group and all, but means I resigned from all of them, just work, means I cleared my UPSC in 3rd attempt. And so basically 3 companies I joined and I resigned because I cleared my prelims. And then after mains, I joined some company, and then means after prelims I joined some company, and then mains results, prelims results came, and I succeed. So I again resigned. So ultimately you have to be इन रेस इफ़ अगर मैं छोड़ देता उस टाइम और अगर मैं ICICI में कंटिन्यू कर जाता तो शायद वो नहीं होता यहाँ पे। तो आपको रहना है उस रेस में। सो पेशेंस एंड परसिवरेंस इज़ द की, कंसिस्टेंसी एंड डिसिप्लिन। सो इट्स बेसिकली ये धीरे धीरे का गेम है और आराम से होता है और हो ही जाता है, कुछ ना कुछ तो हो ही जाता है। क्योंकि जो हम 5 लड़कों ने साथ में हमने चालू किया था उसमें जो 4 नहीं हुए वो भी आज बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं। ये जो आपको वर्ड व्यू देता है यूपीएससी की जो पूरी तैयारी, यूपीएससी सिलेबस का जो पूरा प्रिपरेशन और जो इसका पूरा प्रोसेस है, जो अगर आप अनसक्सेसफुल भी रहते हो, आप एक बार क्लियर नहीं हुए, 2 बार क्लियर नहीं हुए, 3 बार क्लियर नहीं हुए, वो आपको ज़िंदगी जीना सिखा देता है ये पूरा जो प्रोसेस है। सो इट्स नॉट अबाउट कि हाँ ठीक है मेरे को करना है, नहीं हुआ तो बहुत कुछ हो गया। जब आप उस पूरे प्रोसेस से बाहर निकलते हैं तो एक बहुत शानदार आदमी बन के बाहर निकलते हैं। पावर ऑफ सेल्फ बिलीफ इज, जिसके अंदर है वो ही कर सकता है। व्हेन द वाई इज क्लियर देन हाउ इज ईजी। और यूपीएससी करनी क्यों है ये भी आपके मन में थोड़ा क्लियर होना चाहिए कि सिर्फ क्योंकि कोई कर रहा है इसलिए करनी है, या आपके मन में क्या अर्ज है, वेदर यू रियली वांट टू डू समथिंग। इट इज़ नॉट लाइक दैट कि हर यूपीएससी क्लियरेंट आपको इस सोसाइटी के लिए बहुत महान काम ही करेंगे। अल्टीमेटली आपको जो पॉलिसी डिसीजन है वो इम्प्लीमेंट करना होता है, बट वो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ही आप कितना ऑनेस्टली करते हैं यही पूरा गेम है। अल्टीमेटली लीडर्स पॉलिसीज़ बनाएंगे, बट उन लीडर्स को आप किस तरह से इन्फ्लुएंस करते हैं कि वो जनता के लिए अच्छी पॉलिसीज़ बनाएं, चाहे वो टैक्स मैटर हो, चाहे वो ट्रेड मैटर हो, चाहे वो इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स मैटर हो, चाहे वो कोई सा भी पॉलिसी मैटर हो। वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस इज़ वेरी क्रूशियल इन दिस, एंड फिजिकल एंड मेंटल हेल्थ। वो जो जीतू भैया बोलते हैं कि कौन कहता है सब कुछ नसीब से मिलता है, मेहनत करके देखो हार के भी सुकून मिलता है। तो ये पूरा, मैं किसी को भी इस पूरे प्रोसेस में असफल नहीं मानता हूँ। जो भी हमारे साथ के लड़के थे, जो भी हमारे साथ करके निकले, ये पूरा प्रोसेस ही अपने आप में एक शानदार प्रोसेस है। क्योंकि जो तैयारी आपको इसमें करनी पड़ती है, जो चीज़ें आपको पढ़नी पड़ती है, जो वर्ड व्यू आपका खुलता है इसमें, वो अनपैरेलल है। If you guys have any questions regarding this, you can, or we can have interactive session afterwards. रोहित जी, कुछ चीज़ें जो मैं सीए के हिसाब से जो बेनिफिट रहता है वो रोहित जी भी बोल रहे थे। वो बीइंग अ सीए टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट में, जैसे हमको एनईडीटी के अंदर कभी अकाउंट्स की क्लास अटेंड करने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ी, हमको उससे एग्जाम्पशन मिला हुआ था और हम पढ़ाते थे जो दूसरे जो हमारे साथ में कलीग्स थे। एट द सेम टाइम आज अगर टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट या इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स या कहीं पे भी, इवन आईएएस में अगर आप सीए हैं तो एवरीवन नोज़ कि हाँ, मीन्स यू आर different from others, you are fully capable of doing each and everything, you have full knowledge of all the financials, economics which are going on in the world, what are the current things and how economy being impacted by each and every decision of the government. तो you will find कि जो भी हर बैच में जितने 3-4 सीए अगर होते हैं तो their career profile is always like that कि everyone is envious of them. वेदर फाइनेंस सेक्रेटरी का पोस्ट होगा तो कि हाँ सीए को मिलना चाहिए, चाहे कोई भी, बिकॉज ईच एंड एवरी एक्शन हैज़ देयर इकोनॉमिक रिपरकशंस, हाउ इट इम्पैक्ट अदर्स इकोनॉमिकली एंड फाइनेंशियली. सीए नोज बेटर देन एनी अदर. सो सीए जब हम करते थे उस टाइम फ्रैंकली कुछ अवेयरनेस नहीं थी. आज रोहित जी ने जो बोला है कि they are doing all these MOUs with all academies, they are first time they are going to start all these financial assistance thing, means it's really great. Means since last 10 years we are just only hearing the things, but from institute perspective also, but this time if you are saying this and if it's going to happen, it's really a great achievement. really great. Thanks, and I think it's.
Good evening, all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. And it is my privilege to be here to address a gathering where some time ago I was also there in that gathering. Now I am addressing, so it is truly a privilege for me. And it is, it is a privilege for me that I am addressing aspiring chartered accountants who are pursuing the course as well as they are planning to progress their career different from the traditional path, because they have chosen that they want to be in government service, they want to serve the nation, being chartered accountant, to make changes in the government system, government being due to their analytical skills, their financial capabilities. So, being I'm officer of Indian Cost Account Service. It is one of the specialized service where UPSC conduct exams, and through that exam, officers are appointed and get opportunity to work in multiple ministries and departments. Like if I say in multiple ministries and department, one get opportunity in implementation of various policies, formulation of various policies, implementation of whatever government structures, government subsidies. In terms of department, if I say, then we get opportunity to work in like Ministry of Home Affairs, in Department of Revenue, Department of Expenditure, Defense, in Financial Intelligence Unit, multiple investigative units, like serious fraud investigation office. So through this way, we get exposure to work in multiple systems, multiple areas where we can use our analytical skills, we can suggest changes in the system so that we can have good and best practices worldwide. We can take worldwide best practices into India, and then we can have best practices in India so that we can develop more and more growth. We can contribute in that. Like if I talk about my work experience, I got opportunity to work in intelligence development organization where we were able to identify, analyze and investigate various predicate offenses under PMLA Act. And other than that, I got opportunity to work in revenue increase or like auditing area where we were working in income tax, so that revenue of the government of India is increased. Multiple policy development were made, multiple changes, like in the budget preparation time, we get opportunity to work and suggest multiple budget changes. Other than that, we get opportunity to work closely with CPSUs, central public sector undertakings, where we get opportunity to make changes as per the government guidelines. We can align their policies and their investment criteria and their evaluation as per the government guidelines. So by this way, we get opportunity. So by this way, as you are aspiring chartered accountants, so you will get an opportunity to grow from traditional path, like from auditing, taxation, to different areas where you will be able to use your brain for policy making, for policy implementation, for revenue generation, and for stability in the government systems. So thank you for inviting me on this occasion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yash. Respected Chairman of Committee of Public Service and Member in Public Service, Rohit Ruwatia ji, and respected Vice Chairman, respected Chairman of Jaipur Branch, respected Vice Chairman, Jaipur Branch, and CA Prasun Kabra sir, and CA Shivani Maheshwari, I'm a chartered accountant having batch of 2021 and currently working in SABI. So I used to work in Wipro before that. I spent almost 1.5 years in Wipro. Then I realized that it is not working for me. So I started to preparing for some exams like regulatory exams like PFRDA and SABI and RBI. So luckily I got SABI in my first chance. So now I have almost spent 3 years in SABI, and so a day in SABI looks like dealing in supervision, policy making, and enforcement. So I really appreciate Rohit Ruwatia sir for organizing this conference, and I think it is very structured and organized, and definitely we will learn a lot from this conference. So SEBI has a 3 major role: policy making, supervision, and grant of approval. So our day involves only these 3 tasks. For policy making, we interact with a lot of public and market participants, where we consult with the public to make the policy. So a day in a SEBI, we lot of do various public consultations and all. On the basis of that, I can say that while doing job in SEBI, you have a good exposure. You got to meet with various senior private professionals, various merchant bankers, where you can definitely impart policy making and you can learn from them also. Exposure in SEBI is very good. The most fascinating part of this job is exposure. Your daily job involves meeting senior officials from listed companies, intermediaries, CEOs, CFOs, senior lawyers, etc. But always power comes with responsibility. In SEBI, you are responsible for various tasks you perform and you are strict under vigilance. So we always have to ensure that we do the task very diligently. I believe CA can do wonder in regulatory jobs. Since we have law in our subjects, we know how the financial products are structured. We know accounting, we know taxation. I don't think any other professional, apart from CA, in India has all of these subjects in their curriculum, which makes CA the best candidate for this job, especially in regulatory, where understanding of financial product is very important. So to understand the importance of financial regulation, let us look the scale at which the SEBI operates. So I will explain you the Indian market capitalization is approximately 4 lakh crore and our GDP is 3 lakh 30 crore. So our Indian market capitalization is more than our GDP. So you can understand that how much serious job a SEBI officer has to do. So India has almost 5,000, more than 5,000 listed companies. So you can understand that now the market raise the funds from capital market rather than banks. So this ensures that the transparency in the markets remains the same. I will ask a question if anyone can answer. So basically, approximately 3 to 4 crore ITR is filed every year. So can you tell me on the basis of that how much active demat accounts are in India right now? Any guess? How many active demat accounts are in India right now? 3 to 4 crore ITR are filed in a year. Any guess? Wild guess? So there are 12 crore active demat accounts in India. So you can understand that now Indians understand the capital market. Before that, only Gujarat and Maharashtra contributes in securities market. But right now, even a person from a small town understand the capital market. Before that, people used to do RDs, FDs and all. But now the people do more than FDs, the SIPs. So there is a shift from FD in physical assets to financial assets. Now people have nearly stopped RDs and have included in their portfolio SIPs. So this has made ensure that all the companies, whether the private and public, try to raise the funds through capital market rather than going to banking regulators. Today, a person sitting in a small town investing rupees 500 through SIP may not know the company's management personally, but he trusts the system. And that trust exists because there is a regulator ensuring that the system is fair. So if we think about 5-6 years back, amount of AUM and the amount of penetration in the market was not there. Now, through SIPs, even a guy who earns less than 50,000 in a small town knows about stock market and invest through SIPs and other forms. So now the time is very crucial for India, since the era is shifting from funding from banking sector to funding from securities market, which will cause increase in role of SEBI in Indian financial market system. I've heard lot of argument whether the bank loan is much cheaper than raising a loan from securities market, but the argument is not 100% correct. First time raising may increase the cost, but the follow-on cost of raising funds from securities market is much cheaper. So the role of SEBI will increase in future also. So I think the SEBI aspirants, CA aspirants can look this as a job opportunity, not in a one regulator like SEBI, but even you can look for PFRDA, NPS Trust, and IRDA and RBI. So I will explain you what is the format of the exam. So basically exam is conducted annually, and there are 3 phases of the exam: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. So phase 1 consists of a multiple choice questions, which consist of aptitude, quants, and reasoning, which is a very basic level of exam, and I think 10th standard reasoning and aptitude comes, so you can pass the exams. And phase 2 consists of all the subjects which comes in CA only. So I think it becomes a little easier for CA to crack this exam. And the third is interview, which is based on your job profile, which you have done before, or you have any ranks or anything like that. And other regulator bodies also conduct exam in the same format. So if you prepare for a single exam, you can appear for all the exams together. So it is basically plan B. You can have plan B also. So how CA like me in public service can contribute to ICAI? As a chartered accountant, we are not just the member of ICAI, but we are its ambassadors. We can share the practical insights from the industry. We can share the regulation aspects of the regulation to ICAI. We can participate in committees and consultation process like this type of committees, and we can mentor the students and the young professionals. And we also want a support from ICAI also. At the same time, ICAI has also continuously evolving to support its member. ICAI is conducting meeting like this. So ICAI can create a platform like mentorship program, which like they have created for civil services. They can create for regulatory exams also. They can create the awareness programs like this, so that more people from CA fraternity can understand what type of exam is this. And they can provide the training, knowledge resource, and networking opportunities. In last, I will say, chartered accountant are not just the financial professional, but they are the custodian of trust. And when they step into regulatory roles, they don't manage numbers, they shape the financial future of the nation. Thank you.
The way CA examination molded me, it helped me in my UPSC journey. UPSC journey is also like a test match. I say that it's a long journey. There are very difficult phase. Starting में बहुत ज़्यादा difficulty होती है. Just like ball swing, UPSC में बहुत swinging questions आपके ऊपर throw करती है. Sometime you fail in prelims. Sometime आप interview stage तक पहुँचते हैं. Then luck, hard luck. Sometime you have a very good interview, but you feel that your marks is not up to the level which you desire or what you need. So I feel that all those hardship, luck factor, just like we have in CA, is also equally there in the UPSC. But UPSC is a slightly different exam. CA is very technical, about facts, numbers. UPSC is more about broad perspective. I feel that when I am a CA, my horizon is limited to only finance background. But when I qualified as a UPSC candidate, what I feel like now I look things in very different dimension. We put IR, economic, social issues. So our edge in CA, like in CA, what we learn hard work, we learn analytical reasoning, we learn how to tackle various problems, how to solve the crisis situations. Just like in exam, we also face various crisis situation. You face some questions which you are not aware about it, but you have to tackle it. you make your own answer at the same point. So all these skill sets, which as a CA we get through our examination or in our articleship or in work life, which we tackle, like the problem of hierarchies, problem of reportings, problem of the last minute crisis, all this can be useful in our UPSC journey. So I feel that our edge as a professional is very helpful, just like all other, like currently doctors are there, engineers are there, CAs are also becoming a new specialized persons coming to the UPSC. The one thing is very important, which I feel that people will not notice, the current cabinet secretary is also CA. So
Yes, sir.
we not acknowledge that we are there, but we lack some visibility. So I feel that CA, we learn a lot. We have our own subjects in our optional. We have our rigorous examination pattern. And the skill set is always the same in the CA and the UPSC. But slightly our approach should be molded because the demand of the examination. So I feel that these strategic edge help in our preparation of UPSC as well as in our roles as a administrator or a very governance problems.
Rightly pointed out, Pankaj sir, as a chartered accountants are the core of core professionals that are handling many key positions in the bureaucracy, in the legislature, in the many parts of our system and nation building. And UPSC is personally a Russian roulette. So once you are very good in the prelims, you crack the prelims, and another day you are pretty bad in the mains, another day you are pretty bad in the interview. So it's a Russian roulette that you have to pace on. One of my last question with all the panelists, I will ask that there's my very personal question. Sir, if I fail in this exam, then what can be my plan B? And I am very sincere to serve the nation, and I always used to think that this is the only position where I can serve the nation. So what can be my best plan B as a chartered accountant that we can see? It's open to all the panelists who want to answer. Anyone can answer.
What I feel that there are, first in UPSC also, I feel if I talk about for few sentence that UPSC is the field of CAs. There are few services like IRS, Indian Audit and Account Service, Indian Civil Accounts, Indian Defense Accounts, all are accounts related services. So Indian Trade Service, Corporate Law Account, the Corporate Law Service, all are the specialized role of CAs. So if they are able to get in those services, then they can excel it. But if you talk about the plan B, then there are various examination apart from the civil services for the CA aspirant, like cost account, then the RBI exam, SEBI exam, all are there. But if you are a CA, then you do not need the plan B. You always have some job. You always have your own practice. You can start your own business. So for me, plan B is never a question because as I have a CA degree, so I do not need a plan B that if I fail, what I have to do. I have always my career because I first a CA, then I am a civil servant.
But I would like to add to what Pankaj Soni sir said. I think being a chartered accountant, you never need a plan B. You are already in a very reputed profession. Just one thing that you can do is you can switch from tax evasion to tax management. I think that is the best way to serve the nation.
I just want to add one more thing. In my opinion, you do not need a plan B. You're already in a reputed profession. As a CA, as a chartered accountant, you can serve the nation very well. Even in economy, you can help. Even in financial management, you can help. Even in serving in another country, you can strengthen India's position. There, you can leverage the international relations and can establish better diplomatic relations. In society also, you can financially literate some women who is not financially literate. You can reach out to the NGOs. You can teach someone. So civil service or any other government exam is not the only way to serve the nation. When you are a citizen of India, whatever you do in the national interest, you are serving the nation. So just have this larger purpose that what your actions are aiming for. I think by that way, by that clarity, you can serve India.
As rightly pointed out by all panelists, that as a chartered accountant, this degree has given us so much prestige, so much recognition, so much thing that we don't need a plan B. And I had specifically asked this question because many of us as an aspirant, when we start this preparation after qualifying as a chartered accountant, we have a doubt. We have a doubt and we have not a courage to start this preparation कि अगर मैं fail हो गया तो क्या होगा. इसी डर के कारण बहुत सारे लोग ये प्रिपरेशन ही चालू नहीं करते हैं. और ऐसा कि पैनलिस्ट, सारे ही पैनलिस्ट ने हमारे ने बताया कि आपको प्लान बी की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, बिकॉज आपने या तो आप टैक्स की पॉलिसीज़ को बनाओगे या टैक्स मैनेजमेंट तो आप कर ही रहे हो. So with this, I now ask the floor to ask some question with my the esteemed panelist from the floor, if anyone want to ask.
If anyone want to ask a question, please raise your hands. Bharatji, mic. Okay, so our speakers are here with you all in the floor. So, Kapilji, I think all want to ask for the personalized question from one-to-one basis, not on the floor. So let's go ahead.
Okay. So with this, if people want to ask personalized questions, so they can ping their question on the WhatsApp. We will create a Google form and we will create a form. So we will answer them accordingly. So with this, I would like to wrap up this session. And first of all, I would like to thank Chairman Member Public Service Committee, C.A. Rohit Ruatia sir, for providing me this opportunity, and all the committee members, all the branch members, and all our esteemed panelists, Sakshi ma'am, Anjani ma'am, and Pankaj sir. I had curated all this questionnaire and discussed them ki ma'am, I just want to put it as simple as that, and they had said that कि आपने बहुत सारी चीज़ों को you had covered it in a beautiful manner with it. I want to wrap up this session with a small शायरी that कुछ ही देर की खामोशी है फिर यहाँ से शोर आएगा, कुछ ही देर की खामोशी है फिर ये शोर आएगा, हमारा तो सिर्फ वक्त आया है, तुम्हारा दौर आएगा. Thank you. This is Kapil Gupta.